Hi, I'm Joe Walensky. I'm the program manager for Seattle's annual user experience conference, which is called ConveyUX. That's coming up very soon, February 27, 28, and March 1. And once again, I get to speak with another one of our interesting personalities that will have presenting cool content at the conference. And today I am meeting with Kevin Murphy. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you doing? Nice to see you, Joe.
Everything's going well. I'm here at BlinkUX's Seattle office. Where are you speaking to us from today?
I'm speaking to you from NASA headquarters here in Washington, D.C. And it's a little gray outside. Maybe it feels a little like Seattle.
Well, that's kind of how it is here, and we're glad to have you as one of our special guests to provide kind of a unique perspective at the event. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Why don't we start with you just mentioning what your background is and the types of things that you're doing at NASA.
Sure. So my current position, I run all the Earth science data systems at NASA. What we do is we collect the information from all the Earth remote sensing satellites, things that look at oceans, atmosphere, land, the cryosphere, and we monitor that environment of the Earth for, long durations. And my job is really to take the data from those instruments and make it publicly available. My background is I'm a geographer. I looked at land cover remote sensing for a good part of my career. And because it was so difficult to use that information, I kind of took this job of doing data science and giant data management activities.
Well, yeah, you're certainly in a unique position to be gathering large amounts of data and large amounts of data about extremely interesting things to a lot of people in this world. Are there any particularly new and exciting things going on in your area that are consuming your time and interest?
Sure. We've got things that are happening all the time. We're either planning missions, we're collecting data from existing missions, or retiring missions and kind of burning them up in the atmosphere. Pretty recently, we've launched a couple things last year, and on the horizon, we've got this thing called ISAT-2, which is going to really measure glaciers and those types of things at high precision to understand how the warming Arctic is changing the global environment. So we do a lot of really interesting things here, and the other one is that we're about to have some missions that create incredible amounts of data. In about 3 to 4 years, we see our archives growing from an ingest rate of around 4 or 5 petabytes a year to almost 50 petabytes a year, and it's really difficult for us to first manage all of those products, but second make sure that they're usable for the widest possible scientific and commercial and scientist interested public use. So I'm really happy to be here at this conference, or presented at this conference in a couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, it certainly is a challenge for anybody that's been involved where you're gathering large amounts of data. It's always, how can we leverage that in the best possible way to the widest number of people that may be interested in it. And your session delves into some of that. The title of that is Making Scientific Data Usable and Useful. Why don't you talk a little bit about how you came around to that topic and what we can expect to learn from you?
So, we are a taxpayer-funded organization, and our real goal is to understand, the facts about the Earth and its environment. And people can use those facts for a whole bunch of different uses, right? It's complex scientific data. It's difficult to use. And what we want to do is take that complex scientific data and provide it to as many people so that they can make informed decisions as possible. So, it's not very easy to do this. We need a lot of help from the community. We need a lot of help maybe from this community to understand how to take these complex scientific formats and the complex services that run them and the analytical techniques that we use and make those so people can understand them similarly to how they understand weather forecasts. And so that's one of the big things that I try to do is make our products more approachable and accessible by a wider group of people, and that's why I'm here and interested in doing this work. When I first started my graduate degree, actually, I ran into all sorts of problems accessing data from NASA and other government agencies using that data then with the correct way to use those products. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I've taken this job close to 10 years ago now, was that it was so difficult for me. I thought maybe I could help change that. And I think that we've done quite a bit of work, both in improving user interfaces, the quality of the information that we provide, but we still have a lot of work left to do.
Well, it definitely sounds like exciting work to be involved in, and it should be a really very interesting presentation for those who are at the conference who attend it. Thanks again for taking the time to visit with me today, and we'll see you in Seattle in a little less than 2 months.
Can't wait. See you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.